Hi, my name is Emily Rain, and recently, while going through a bunch of old stuff, I found a whole bunch of these old American Girl cootie catchers. And so I thought it would be a fun idea to make cootie catchers again because that's something I haven't done since elementary school, and it's silly and fun and pointless. However, this of course is going to have a twist. This cootie catcher is going to tell my fortune. Let's get into it. So to make a cootie catcher, of course, we have to fold it like we usually do. And this is just my paper folding process in order to make the cootie catcher. Nothing too fancy. So you want to get a square out of your paper first, and then you're going to take each corner and fold it into the center of your paper. And it never ends up perfectly, but that's all right. And then once you've done that, you're going to flip it over and do the same thing over again, folding each corner into the center of the paper. And then once you're done, you have made your cootie catcher. But it's not done yet. So here I am just thumbnailing. What's the word I'm looking for? Planning. The word I'm looking for is planning. I'm planning what I'm going to draw on each corner of the cootie catcher. And since this is going to be a fortune-telling cootie catcher, I decided to take some inspiration from my favorite esoteric divination means. Now, I don't necessarily believe in all of fortune-telling or astrology or tarot reading, but I do enjoy it, and I enjoy taking part in it. I inherited a deck of tarot cards from my grandmother after she passed away, and I do tarot readings for my friends every once in a while because it's silly and fun. It doesn't matter whether or not you fully believe in it. However, I do believe that it gives us insight into our own lives every once in a while, and allows us to analyze our own lives more internally in order to make better decisions in the future. It's also a great means of storytelling. So here I'm just transferring over my sketches to the cootie catcher. And I'm using my trusty old purple Colorase colored pencil. So I'm doing a different fortune-telling mean on each corner of this. So for this corner, it's tarot cards. For this, I think I just had like a mini stroke there. For that corner, I did tea leaf reading, then a crystal ball, and then finally a pendulum. And the chain on the pendulum was really fun to draw because I hadn't drawn chains in a while. Alright, now I'm going to ink and color each individual corner. Oh, and if you thought this would be a simple little cootie catcher that I was drawing, I'm going all out on it. All out on color, all out on detail and design. Basically, I'm modeling this cootie catcher after a magic 8-ball. So with a magic 8-ball, you have like the yes, no, maybe, try again later. So those will be the sorts of answers that you would find inside of this cootie catcher. That way you can ask it a question before you do your reading or whatever, as just sort of a fun little thing. So this cootie catcher will act as a magic 8-ball. This corner of the cootie catcher is probably my favorite. I'm just really happy with how the 3 of swords turned out on this card. And the inking job was fun, because with this I felt like my inking didn't have to be perfect, but just enough of an outline. And then I put different numbers on each of them, just so that way you have like a number of times that you flip the cootie catcher before you open, or like the times you open it, because that's how a cootie catcher works. You like read the name or the number on the outside of it, you open it and close it that amount of times, and then you go to a different one. And I just chose random numbers that I like. And now I'm going in with Ohuhu markers, Faber-Castell markers, and some Copic markers to color in the top. And I eventually figure out that this is bleeding through the paper and that I need a card of some sort underneath it. But I chose sort of a muted color scheme for all of the ones on the top. So grayscale with 1 pop of color was my choice for pretty much all of these. Now onto the crystal ball. And I do go in with a Posca marker for this one, just to add like a little magical shimmer on the outside of it. And I'm pretty sure I forgot to erase for all of the other ones, because that's the first time I saw the eraser. I'm not really sure how my art process went for this if I forgot to erase for those. Now I'm going in with the teacup color with my favorite Copic marker color, which is neutral lipstick. I still don't know why it's my favorite color. It's just such a nice earthy pink color. Now going in with the magic swoosh for the magic, what was it called again? Dang, my brain is going. Crystal ball. Magic swoosh for the crystal ball. And last but not least, the pendulum. I go in with a blue crystal color for that. There we go, I remembered to erase. Going in with some shadow and detail. Now I'm doing the chain. Adding a little bit of detail on the chain. And then after that, it should be done and I can go to the inside. So for the inside, I chose to do the elements because I figured that was kind of like an astrology sort of thing. And then I did, what did I do? The moon phases, which was also sort of an astrology sort of thing, so keeping in line with the fortune-telling theme. The moon phases were probably my favorite to draw on this section of the cootie catcher. And something else, I was really proud of my handwriting for this, because usually my handwriting is terrible. I am not one of those artists that has like really good handwriting. My handwriting usually looks like chicken scratch. Like my brain thinks faster than I can write. So for this, I really tried to make my handwriting legible. Now here I go in with coloring and detail and mess up the inside a little bit, but it's not too bad. There's a certain point of adding detail where you kind of mess things up. And whenever I have to outline in white gel pen, you know, I kind of mess things up a little bit. And I'm just using colors to represent each of the elements. Oh, but while we're talking about different elements and astrology and fun stuff like that, I'm a Taurus, and you should leave your zodiac sign down in the comments below. And like whether or not you read your astrology every once in a while, because I think it's fun to do. And it's fun to think about. See, the moon phases just look so much more simple and clean compared to the elements. Now I'm just refining some details. And now on the inside I'm adding yes, no, and maybe to each of the little tabs and making it look pretty and fun and artistic. And I'm really happy with how each of the yes, no, and maybe look completely different from one another. And that my handwriting stayed legible. Not every single one is as extra as those first two, but my handwriting stayed legible, and I think that's the real... Okay, maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe. But my handwriting, for the most part, stayed legible throughout the entire process. But also, I think it'd be fun to do more cootie catchers in the future because it just has this like childlike sense of creativity in it to see how you can make it different each time. So if you guys want me to make more cootie catchers and act like an elementary school kid, let me know because this was really fun to make. And I'm just adding a few little last details on this, and then I will be done with my final and finished cootie catcher. And it's all folded up and ready to tell a fortune. Now, what will my video be about next week? That's what we want to know. And let's see, let's pick 3. 1, 2, 3. And pick air. A, I, R. And I am going to pick new moon. And we have no idea what my video will be about next week. Thanks for watching and hope you have a wonderful rainy day. Bye guys!